As we know, and it is very much common belief, that algebra is quite simple as compared to geometry. Yes, it may be a fact, but unless and until your study method is correct and you are consistent in your studies. For example, if suppose daily you solve 2 sums of algebra, or maybe 3, 5, 5 sums, then it is very much beneficial. Otherwise, if you understand the concept very clearly, but don't look at your textbook till the starting of exam, you will not score well. It means you will have to follow consistent study method. But what is that method? How to study? How to score well in algebra? That information will be given to you by Mrs. Shubhda Kulkarni. She is from Bal Shikshan Mandir School of Pune. She has got lot of experience in that subject, and I am very much sure that whatever information, explanation she will give to you, you will score well and your study method will get changed. Thank you.
Hello friends, welcome to the subject Mathematics 1, that is algebra. Mathematics is a subject which mesmerizes as well as intimidates, enthralls and gives nightmares to some people. But algebra, that is Maths 1, is a very interesting subject, a scoring subject which is going to help you throughout the year and in your board exams. The pattern of the subject algebra has been revised from this year. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the new pattern, the chapter-wise weightage, methods of study, HOTS questions, and of course, the topics which have been deleted from your textbook. So, to begin with the pattern, the total number of marks for Maths 1 paper from this year, that is 2014, April 2014 exam, are 40 marks for Maths 1 and 40 marks for Maths 2. So this total is 80 marks. 20 marks are reserved for internals. Now these 20 marks are again divided into 10 marks for Maths 1, that is algebra, and 10 marks for geometry. Out of 10 marks, internal marks of algebra, 5 marks are reserved for your assignments and 5 marks are for unit test 1 and 2 together. So in all, there is a 100 marks paper for mathematics. So now we are going to discuss about the subject algebra, that is 40 marks algebra paper. Now, let us discuss about the chapter-wise weightage for the paper. In all, there are 6 chapters in the textbook. The first chapter, that is arithmetic progression, carries 12 marks. The second chapter, quadratic equations, also carries 12 marks. The third, that is linear equations in 2 variables, carries 12 marks. The fourth chapter, that is probability, carries 10 marks. Chapter 5 and 6, that is statistics 1 and 2, carry 6 and 8 marks respectively. So in all, the total number of marks are 60. But children, the paper is of 40 marks. So now let us discuss about how the paper will be. There will be in all 5 questions in your question paper. The first question will be of 1 mark each. You have to solve any 5. So total marks are 5 marks for the first question. The second question is of 2 marks each. There are 2 marks each, 4 sub-questions. So it carries 8 marks. The third question, 3 marks each. You have to solve any 3. So in all, there are 9 marks. The fourth question, 4 marks each. You have to solve any 2. It carries 8 marks. And the fifth question, 5 marks each, any two. In all, it carries 10 marks. So, in all there are 40 marks for algebra paper. Now children, 20% of the marks are reserved for higher order thinking skill questions. That is HOTS. You must be hearing about HOTS right from 9th standard. Now 20%, that is 20% of 40, that comes to 8 marks. Now these 8 marks are distributed throughout the paper. The HOTS can be of either 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks or 5 marks. It's not necessary that they have to be only of 4 marks or 5 marks. No. You can even have 1 and 2 marks HOTS, HOTS, that is higher order thinking skill questions also. So 8 out of 40, 20% are reserved for the higher order thinking skill questions. Now, let's discuss about question number 1. Question number 1 are short questions, very short questions, hardly 2 or 3 steps. But remember, you have to write down the answer for every question, whether it is a 1 mark, 2 marks, 3, 4 or 5 marks question along with its unit. And every step has to be written when you're solving a question, whether in your notebook or whether in your paper. So, question number 1 is of short questions. Question 2, the number of steps will be more. So automatically it will carry 2 marks each. So if there are 4 steps or 5 steps, there will be 2 marks and half a mark is reserved for the answer. Question number 3, there will be more number of steps, might be some questions from the graph and more steps will be asked. Question 1, question 2, question 3 can be asked from any of the 6 chapters which are in your textbook. Question number 4 and question number 5, these are long questions. Don't you worry, even if they are long questions, just try to practice them. We'll see the study skills. I'll let you know how you're going to prepare yourself for the long questions. But these questions, that is question number 4 and question 5, these questions will have more number of steps and more of the solving, and you have to be prepared more from chapter number 2, 3, 5 and 6. That is chapter 2, quadratic equations, chapter 3, linear equations, then chapter 5, that is the statistics, and chapter 6, again statistics part 2. So you should be stressing more on these chapters for the long questions. So this is the pattern of the paper. Now from chapter 2 and chapter 3, you can have word problems, more of word problems, and even from chapter 1, that is on arithmetic progression, some word problems which can be asked for a long question. Now from chapter 2, equations which are convertible to quadratic form are also for long questions. So this is regarding the new pattern of the paper and weightage of the marks chapter wise. Let us come to the chapter 5 and 6, that is statistics. In these 2 chapters should be ready for central tendency, graphical representation along with the conversions. So these are for the long questions. Now let us come to the next part, that is method of study. Now children, you have been studying mathematics since years together. Many of you or most of you love the subject, I'm sure. But still, there are some methods which will help you to improve your performance in the board exam. First thing you have to remember, we have 6 chapters here. Let us divide the complete portion into equal parts. If you plan to complete 1 chapter per month, so 6 chapters will be completed by the end of November. Now again, this 1 chapter which is to be completed per month, you can plan it weekly and daily. First thing, if at all you have to go to sleep every day, until and unless you solve minimum 5 extra questions from your exercise and extra problems per day, you're not going to bed. If you promise this to yourself, I'm sure that will boost up your confidence. What is mathematics finally? It's just a building confidence subject. If you're confident enough, you can solve any problem, whether it is HOTS question, whether it is 1 mark question, or whether it is 2 mark question, or any type of question asked. First thing, you're ready with your daily planning. Whatever topic is taught in your class, in your school, as soon as you come home, plan out or reserve a specific time for your mathematics. So extra questions based on that topic are to be solved on that day itself. That will boost up your confidence. Now, next, every weekend, revise for the complete week. Whatever questions based on the portion which is completed in that week are given in the problem set at the end of the book. They are to be solved again. So when you revise them, you are ready for that particular topic in that particular week. In this manner, you will be revising the whole week's work, and then you will understand where are you lacking. You can again talk to your teachers, again you can talk to the people who are guiding you, or your parents, whosoever is helping you out, or your friends, even discuss with your friends in the school. In this manner, you will be ready with everything taught in the class, in the school per week. Might be you will be going ahead of the school also. It does happen in many of the cases. In this manner, you are ready for a particular chapter in one full month. This manner, you will be revising weekly. You will be revising monthly because you have your unit test. You will be revising for your unit test. You will be revising for your terminal exam, for your prelim exam, prelim 1, prelim 2, and then for your board exam. Apart from these weekly revisions. So you are studying daily, you are studying weekly, you are revising monthly, and you are revising term-wise. So by the end of the first term, November end, you are thorough with your portion. So to build up your confidence and thoroughly scoring well, you have to be regular, dedicated, hardworking, and sincere. So now all of you, I'm sure you'll agree that perseverance is sometimes better than genius. So your regular studies will definitely help you in improving your performance, and you will definitely see that performance improved in your unit tests immediately when you go to the school. You have them in the month of July. Now, the part of the textbook which you all avoid is solved examples. You feel they are for someone else. No, they are for you, children. So you're expected to solve all the solved examples on your own without looking in the textbook. Might be you'll make mistakes. Try it once, try it twice, try it thrice. But that will boost up your confidence that you are solving on your own. And when you solve the solved examples given in the textbook, you will be ready for the HOTS questions and variety of questions. Remember, whatever is the paper, whatever are the questions given in your question paper will always be based on the concepts which are in the textbook, whether in form of solved examples or in the form of problem set questions or in the form of questions from the exercises, regular exercises. So when you are solving regularly, daily, weekly, monthly, you will be ready with every question from the exercise, every question from your problem set, and then you will be ready with the revision. Now comes the word problems, where there's always a problem in understanding. Reread the question given. Understand the language. Develop a habit of understanding the language. Because until and unless you understand a question, you cannot solve it correctly. Do not solve the questions mechanically. Understand and then solve. So as it is, you know that you will be writing what is given, what is to be found, and then form the equations or whatever and use the identities, use the formula and then start solving. So in this manner you will understand the language, what is given, because for questions like you have been solving even in the previous years in word problems like the age problems, father's age, the son's age, the daughter's age, the mother's age, and so on. 3 years later, 5 years hence, 5 years ago. Understand what is given. 5 times the age, 3 less than 4 times the number, and so on and so forth. So understand that language, try it with your pencil first and then finally write in your notebook. But develop a habit of forming correct equations and transforming the given data correctly into mathematical language. So in this manner, when you understand the problem, understand the language well, the number of mistakes made will be less. Till now, since years together, you have been studying, you have been taught so many identities, so many geometrical concepts, arithmetical concepts. Like for example, the simple ones, the algebraic concepts, the identities like a plus b bracket square, a plus b bracket cube, a minus b bracket square, a minus b bracket cube, a square minus b square, all these identities, or a plus b plus c bracket cube. There are so many identities you have been taught since years together, and they are always there in the book. But they have to be here. You have to be very thorough with all these identities. The simple geometrical concepts, which you feel you are very thorough, but you should really be thorough. You should be ready with the revision of these simple geometrical concepts like area of a square, rectangle, area of a triangle, whether it is isosceles or right angle triangle, area of a rhombus, or even there are so many other concepts, algebraic, arithmetic concepts which have been taught to you, and they will be and some will be taught to you this year. Like some formulae, there are, of course, in mathematics every chapter you have formulae, but the formulae from the chapter statistics 1, that is finding out the mean, the median, the mode by a particular method, you have to be thorough with these formulae. We have to be thorough with these identities. I would like to suggest something. If you really wish to be thorough with identities, take a chart paper, a sketch pen, write down these identities and put them next to your study table. So whenever there's a mental fatigue, when you're bored, of course, you'll be studying so sincerely. So there is a fatigue. So just have a look at those, move around the room, and just while moving around, read the identities which you have put them on in your study corner. So you'll be revising them every now and then. So these are the methods of study. So children, in this manner, if you follow the remember and revise all identities. Now in probability chapter, you have some concepts which are related to set theory. So set theory which is taught to you in 9th standard. Revise and remember the concepts which are taught in lower classes like the histograms and the frequency polygons which have been taught in 9th standard. Then develop a habit of reading the questions given, and once you revise the whole chapter, solve all the exercises, summarize by going through all the identities, formulae or some important questions, and whenever you are completing it, summarizing it, underline the important concepts with the help of a pencil in your textbook. Though there are boxes, if you see in your algebra textbook, there are so many concepts which are placed in a box, but you underline these, so that will help you to remember everything well. And then you will be ready to write a test on that particular topic. So this is the method of study. There is a suggestion. There are various methods of study, children, but this is one of the methods. If you study regularly, daily, revise weekly, monthly, and then term-wise, you will be revising the same topic at least 7 to 8 times by November end, and you will be thorough with it. That is your method of study. Now, regularity in study is very, very important. So, you will be following the regular study pattern. Now, let's talk about the higher order thinking skill questions. What are HOTS questions? HOTS questions are slightly higher order thinking skill questions. Don't run after those. First, develop, build up a confidence in yourself about a particular chapter. Like for example, the linear equations. Once you're thorough with the linear equations, all the questions, solved examples, questions from the exercises in the textbook are all solved. Problem set questions are all solved. Come to the question bank which is given at the end of the textbook. The questions from the question bank which are related to that particular topic, linear equations, if you start solving them, they will be of great help to you. Now, you're going to maintain a separate notebook for HOTS question. HOTS questions means there are no special questions. They are all related to questions based on the portion, based on whatever the concepts given in your textbook. Try to collect. Now, as it is, you'll be appearing for so many test series. You'll be having so many extra tests in the school, in your classes, at home. Collect all the HOTS questions and solve them in that notebook. So you'll be ready with your own notebook of HOTS questions. Collect it, collect question papers from various schools in your vicinity and solve those questions. And you can categorize them. When you start solving the question papers, you understand that yes, this is a different type of question. It is making me think more, so it goes to the HOTS category. So in this manner, you'll be ready with the HOTS questions also. Now, this is what we are talking about, the methods of study. Your textbook has 6 chapters, but from those 6 chapters, some of the topics are not included in 2014 exam. Please note down, be ready with your textbook, children. The first chapter, arithmetic progression. That is page number 137. You are going to just cross geometric progression, that is GP, general term of a GP, sum of first n terms of GP, and problems related to arithmetic mean and geometric mean. Please cross these questions. They are not included for April 2014 paper. Next, chapter 4, probability. In probability chapter, we have addition theorem without proof. Please cross the addition theorem from probability chapter. The next, in statistics, you have chapter 5 and 6 together. You have frequency curve, Ogives. Please cross the Ogives, cumulative frequency curve, the frequency curve, and applications of Ogives in determination of median, application of histogram in determination of mode, and introduction to normal distribution, properties of normal distribution. Please cross these concepts, these topics from your textbook. You do not have them for April 2014 examination. Though they are printed in your textbook, but you do not have them at present for the 2014 board examination. Now, the first chapter is arithmetic progression. It's a newly introduced chapter to you all. But till now you have been studying about the various types of numbers given to you. Like for example, you are given 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and you call them as even numbers, or 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on, you call them as odd numbers. Similarly, you have to study about a sequence, progression and then arithmetic progression in the first chapter. You have these formulae here to find the nth term, Tn. Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Also you have Sn, that is sum of n terms, is equal to n upon 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Whenever you come across such formulae, there will be so many formulae you will be coming across. Write them or separately on a drawing board and display them in your study corner. So you will be looking at the formulae, all the formulae, and you will be revising them every now and then. The second chapter, in the first chapter, For the sake of convenience, suppose we have to find out 3 consecutive numbers which are in arithmetic progression. There are some uh, assumptions, like if 3 consecutive terms, they are a minus d, a plus d. There are 5 consecutive terms, a minus 2d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 2d. There are 4 consecutive terms, they are a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 3d. Such assumptions should also be written with a sketch pen and displayed in your study corner. That is regarding first chapter. The second chapter in algebra is quadratic equations. You already know, you have already come across what is a quadratic expression, that is ax square plus bx plus c. Now quadratic equation, the general form or the standard form, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, this has to be solved by various methods, and understanding what a quadratic equation is, that is in ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0a, and all a, b, c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. Now you can solve these by factorization method, you can solve the quadratic equations by completing the square method, or even you can solve them by formula method. Children, in your paper a particular method will be mentioned and you have to solve only by that method. Not that I like a particular method, I'm solving by that method. No. So please be thorough with all methods which are in the textbook. The formula is given by the great Indian mathematician Sridharacharya. So the quadratic formula is also called the Sridharacharya formula, that is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. The third chapter is linear equations. And the third chapter, when we consider a system of linear equations, we call them simultaneous linear equations in 2 variables. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 is the general form or the standard form here, where a, b are not equal to 0. Again, in this chapter, there are methods of solving the equations, whether it is graphical method or whether it is determinants method by using Cramer's rule, or you have to convert the given data into mathematical equations, that is, they are called the word problems. There are various methods of solving. Again, please be thorough with all the methods. Whenever there is graphical representation, be sure that you draw the x dash, that is the x-axis, the y-axis, the point of intersection, that is origin with its coordinates 0, 0, so x dash, y dash, o, and write the scale. And something very important to remember here, take the simplest possible scale in this chapter when you're solving the questions graphically. And do not forget to write the answer, that is the solution of the equation. Here the point of intersection is noted. The graphs of the 2 equations are straight lines meeting at a point. The coordinates of this point are noted, and x is equal to or y is equal to the values are written. So write down the point of coordinates of point of intersection as well as the values of x and y. Write the answer of every question separately. The word problems, the answers have to be written in complete statement. For example, the age of the grandfather is, the cost of 5 apples is, or the time required for the boat to go upstream or downstream is, or the speed of the boat in still water. You have to write it with complete units, that is kilometers per hour. Age will be written in years, rupees or paise. So you have to be ready for these conversions also. Be thorough with these conversions as well as the identities. The next chapter is probability. In probability chapter, it's a totally new concept. You must have heard many of your friends saying, today it's going to rain. There's a possibility of raining. It might be a dull week. I'll be bored this weekend. Probably I'm not going out anywhere. So you have heard that word probability every now and then. But using it mathematically is what we are going to do in this probability chapter. The probability is a branch of mathematics with its applications in various fields of life, whether it is science and technology, whether it is mathematics or any other field. Now, you toss a coin. There's a probability of getting a head or a tail. So again comes the word probability. How to use this concept mathematically is what you're going to learn. This is being introduced to you all. It's of great use in industry, not only, but in finding out the population and so many other walks of life. Here you'll be learning sample space, some new, very new terms, that is sample space, the events, complementary events, mutually exclusive events, the random experiment, of course. There are so many you'll be learning with. So children, be thorough with what you're doing and try to correlate some of these with the set theory part of Standard 9. Next chapter here is statistics. You've already been introduced about the mean, finding out the central tendency in Standard 9. Here you're going to study in detail about finding the mean, median and the mode. The formulae, you do not have to derive the formula in this chapter, but they are already given in your textbook. But remember them thoroughly and write them in your study corner and say whenever you are free, so that you'll be thorough with those formulae. The mean, median, mode and the interrelation has to be expressed with complete unit when you're writing the answers. I'm reminding you again and again, there are marks reserved for the answer with correct unit. So develop a habit of writing the answer every day in your notebook so that you write the answer correctly in your answer papers. Now, the steps to calculate the mean, median, mode are given in your textbook in form of a flow chart. They're all self-explanatory. Go through these again and again, practice drawing those tables and then solve the questions. And additions, multiplications, divisions, and finding the answer, accurate answer is very important in this chapter, where there are many silly mistakes made by the students and they lose their marks. So let's be thorough with the calculation part in this chapter, that is regarding statistics. So these are the 6 chapters which you have in your textbook. So children, you know the topics which are deleted. You also know how to tackle with the HOTS question. So now you're going to study. You're ready with the new pattern. You will be preparing yourself, taking into consideration the chapter-wise weightage, and regular and systematic study will help you to score well in your exam and build up your confidence. All the best, study well and prepare well for your board exams. Thank you.